Welcome to Deck Analysis and Testing. Today we have a look at Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons are a fusion deck that's good at doing OTKs until one day Konami decided that they had enough and completely destroyed the deck in the ban list. Even now, Fusion is at 2 and Overflow is at 1, so we can't even play Overflow. Cyber Dragon Nova came out quite some time ago after the ban list, and it kinda doesn't really do anything. It kinda just summons more Cyber Dragons. And until now, when we finally got the biggest payoff for the deck, which is worth making, which is Cyber Dragon Infinity. It kind of does everything. It's a non-negate, which is probably already good enough, but it also sucks your opponent's monsters under it as material if you're going second, and that is a really good form of removal. This deck has now transformed into a control strategy that can summon Cyber Dragon Infinity over and over again, even if it gets to the graveyard, and also occasionally perform some OTKs using their free fusion monsters. Alright, let's quickly look at the deck. We have one copy of Cyber Dragon. You can get this from the structure deck. It's just a free guy. We have 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Veer. This is a free summon, so even if your mainline 1-card combo gets negated, you can just summon this guy for free and then just make an Xyz anyway. Cyber Dragon Core, the best card of our deck. You can search it using our search spells. This card, when normal summoned, has a mandatory effect to search a Cyber Spell Trap. Usually you will be grabbing a copy of Cyber Repair Plant or Cyber Rev System. And also it has a graveyard effect that can banish itself from the graveyard to summon a Cyber Dragon monster from your deck, but you can't use this effect during the same turn you use the first effect, so this is more like a follow-up if your opponent clears your board. We have Cyber Dragon Noxter. This is the main way you're going to get back your Infinity if it gets to the graveyard. This card can special summon itself by sending a card from your hand to the graveyard, and then when no more special summoned, you can revive a machine monster with 2100 attack or defense in your graveyard, and then you're locked into machine monsters. This is a pretty good combo extender to get you more materials to Xyz summon, or you can just use this effect to revive a Cyber Dragon Infinity that is already in your graveyard. Next is one copy of a Cyber Dragon Herds. This card, when sent to the graveyard, can get back a Cyber Dragon from your graveyard back to your hand. And because all of these Cyber Dragons count as the original Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, you can just grab any one of them. Usually you will be grabbing the one copy of a Noxter, so you can use this effect to revive Infinity. For the spells, we're playing one Cyber Emergency. This is basically a search spell. You can search any Cyber Dragon monster using it. With one Cyber Rev System, this is a Reborn. With 3 Cyber Repair Plant, which is usually a worse Cyber Emergency, but because of the skill, it is now a better Cyber Emergency because it searches not only Cyber Dragons, it also searches any light machine monster. So you can use it to search a Kaiju. One of the Kaijus is a light machine, so if you decide to play it, this is a way to search it to out your opponent's boss monsters. And also this has a bonus effect if you have enough Cyber Dragons in the graveyard to shuffle back a light machine monster from your graveyard back to your deck. So this grabs you more follow-up as well. Finally, one copy of Cyberload Fusion. You don't usually use this too much because it is now much better to Xyz summon than to Fusion summon, but occasionally you can still use this to win games by making big Cyber Dragon monsters and attacking for game. For the traps, we're just playing generic traps. You can play anything. We're just playing Horror House, 2 Cloak and Dagger, and 3 Time Space Trap Hole as our staples. For the extra deck, we're playing 3 fusions, 1 Cyber End, 1 Chimera Tech Over Dragon, and 1 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. And for the Xyz, we're playing 1 copy of the new Cyber Dragon Infinity. This card is really good. It has 2 main effects. It can negate a card or effect once per turn and destroy that card by detaching a material. And also once per turn, you can attach a attack position monster on the field, including your own field if you want, to it as a material. And this card will gain 200 attack for each material that it has under it. really good card, even if you revive it without materials using, Cyber Dragon and Huckster. You can still give it more material by using its effect to attach your opponent's stuff to it as material so that you can detach something to negate your opponent's stuff. We're also playing one copy of Utopia Ray and one copy of Leo Arms. This is usually a really good rank 5 back before Cyber Dragon Infinity came out. Now it's less good because Cyber Dragon Infinity is just better usually, but occasionally you can still make this card, and this card has like a lot of attack. We have one copy of Cyber Dragon Nova. This is the material requirement in order to make Infinity. You can make this card first and then use the effect to revive a Cyber Dragon, and then you can rank a Cyber Dragon Infinity on top of this card as a material. Finally, 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Seeger. This card is not very good, but it is a Link 2 and it is very easy to make, so we're still playing it. This card is a Link 2 that requires a Cyber Dragon, and it has an effect to boost your monster's attack by 2100, and that's kind of it. It's okay, I guess. It doesn't really do too much, but it does allow you to beat over pretty much anything using your Cyber Dragon Infinity, because it only has 21. Well, it gains 200 for each material, but it's still not a lot. Usually it sits around at 25. And if your opponent has like a blue eyes white dragon, you still need to beat over it. So you can use the effect of Seeger to make it a lot bigger and actually be able to beat over your opponent's monsters. Let's have a look at the skill. The skill is pretty good. It's a lot better than the previous one. And it has the effect to, once per turn, just send a Cyber Dragon from your deck to your graveyard. Just send it for free. This only sends the regular Cyber Dragon, but it's fine, because all it does is it allows you to use the effect of Cyber Repair Plant, because you now have a light machine in the graveyard, so it just becomes a search spell without any form of setup. And then it also has a second effect, the skill to use, you can just change all Cyber Dragon monsters to level 5, and that's it. That's the entire skill. And that's pretty good. Because all of the Cyber Dragons don't actually have matching levels by themselves, you can use the skill to just make them all level 5 so you can just exceed something with it. So you don't have to play any of the janky Cyber Dragons, like one of them that changes your monsters to level 5. You don't have to play that because that card is terrible. You just use the skill to make everything a level 5 monster. Alright, let's quickly look at the expensive version. We're just mainly swapping out the staples for good staples, like a Droplet and Eclipse. We're playing 2 Cyber Dragons because even if we draw one of them, we can use the skill to send the other one from our deck. Of course, we're playing triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core, one of the best cards in our deck, and also one of our 1-card starters. We're playing 2 Emergency because I don't really feel like we need the third one, because Cyber Repair Plan is just a better searcher in this deck. We're still playing 1 copy of Veer. You don't really need to. You can play like a Kaiju instead. But I like a copy of Veer just as free, an extra free guide that you can summon to your field. And then the extra deck is mostly the same, and instead of the second Seeger, we're just playing a second copy of a Nova, because Nova is from the structure deck, so you can't play 2 copies in a free-to-play version. So anyway, let's have a look at the games. Okay, we are in the replays. First game, we're going first. Amazing. Now, with the new stuff, Cyber Dragons are finally good going first. Usually, historically, this deck is only good going second because of the OTK potential of the fusion monsters, but now, going first is a lot preferred. We don't have the 1-card combo, but we do have a Cyber Dragon plus a Veer, which we can summon both to our field to still make a rank 5 and then make Infinity set 2, and that's usually how the combo goes. And this game showcases that 1 negate can just win you the game on its own. We're gonna negate the normal summon of Time Peak Blinder, and then yeah, he just kind of loses because the negate not only negates, it destroys as well, so it's really strong. Alright, let's look at the second game. Again, going first. Amazing stuff. our opponent is playing Sacred Beast. And we do have a couple of ways to clear our opponent's back row. The main way is going to be using the effect of the Rampage Dragon to pop all of his field spells and continuous spells. So he probably should have grabbed a Cyberload Fusion using the Nova, using Cyber Dragon Core, knowing that he's playing Sacred Beast, but it's fine. We'll just grab this for follow-up. I am going to save the Infinity to use on the Chaos Summoning Beast to prevent him from getting more Sacred Beast on the field. We can't really prevent the skill from just summoning a Sacred Beast for free because that isn't an effect. We can't negate it. But we can at least try to negate a Chaos Summoning Beast if he tries to summon one. But then he doesn't summon one, he just kind of makes a copy of Raviel and tries to attack over it with a massive attack boost. But we can just negate the attack boost, and also we can just gain attack using Seeger, so we can just beat over the Raviel and, well, one set card versus one negate. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fine. Okay, let's have a look at the third and final game where we play the expensive version. This time, again, going first, amazing. We're gonna normal summon the Cyber Dragon Core as usual, grab ourselves a Cyber Load Fusion to clear some back row. Let's grab Repair Plant, grabbing a copy of Hertz for us to discard, so we can just make our Noxter and then summon back a Cyber Dragon for free. Let's make a Nova. Nova can revive a Cyber Dragon, and because all of the small Cyber Dragons treat themselves as Cyber Dragon, we can just revive any one of them. And then we can make Infinity and Seeger again. And then Hertz will trigger and grab us a follow-up, and then we can set to and pass. Our opponent's playing Dark Lords. Dark Lords is a pretty cool deck. He's gonna try to summon the Nastan. I'll negate that so it doesn't hit the field. He unfortunately already has the contact, so he's going to use it to revive the Nastan. We're gonna Eclipse, and because Eclipse doesn't target, we can still flip anything face down, including the things that he just summoned. And he hasn't normal summoned yet, so he's going to normal summon the Morningstar, only getting one monster from it because we flipped our own Infinity face down. He's going to try to attack off Infinity, but Seeger can activate during the damage step to increase our defense as well. So we survive. Next turn, we can't suck the Morningstar because it can't be targeted while another Dark Lord's on the field. He's going to try to negate something, and we'll Infinity to negate it. And now, because he sent his own Ishel, we can now absorb the Morningstar, and he has nothing left on field, and we will walk with it. GG's.